everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be testing viral TikTok hacks and recipes to see if they're worth the hype. If you're new here, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe down below. And when you finish watching this video, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up so that I know, and comment down below any other video ideas that you have. That being said, let's get straight into the video. Now, for the first recipe that we're going to try, I'm going to be trying this Poppet chocolate bar trend that I've seen all over my For You page, and I'm sure you guys have heard about it on TikTok. Now, if you haven't heard about it, you basically get a Poppet, which is a fidget that everyone's been going crazy for at the moment. I got this little heart-shaped one because I thought this one looked nicer. And you put an M&M in each of these little holes, and then you fill it with melted chocolate. You put it in the freezer, and then when you take it out, it's kind of like a chocolate bar that you can take little pieces out of. Now, I won't be using M&Ms, I'm going to be using Smarties, which I'm hoping just do the same thing. They're basically M&Ms, but I can't eat M&Ms because they have palm oil in them, so I'm going to be using Smarties instead. So first of all, I'm just going to put one of these Smarties in each of these holes until they are full. I'm trying not to put the same colours beside each other as I'm doing this. And I got the bigger size of Smarties and they seem to be fitting perfectly in the Poppet. I'm sure the same goes with M&Ms, but don't get the small Smarties that you get in a multi-pack because they probably won't fit in the hole. I just finished filling the Poppet with the Smarties. You're also using Smarties like I did. You only need one of the packets that I showed earlier, and there were a couple to spare even with that one packet. I was just being safe getting two, but it's filled perfectly. I have just melted down the chocolate and I'm pouring it into the Poppet now. Before I carry on with this, I'd just like to make it clear that I washed the Poppet before I used it, and I'd recommend that you do the same if you're doing this. Now that I've finished putting the chocolate into the Poppet, I'm going to stick it in the freezer and I'll be back when it's completely ready. The Poppet chocolate bar has just finished in the freezer and it is looking very good. Hey guys, the chocolate Poppet has officially frozen and I'm going to attempt to take it out of the silicone without it breaking. So here goes nothing. Okay, I've taken that bit out. I'm going to do this as carefully as I can because I do not want this to break after all of that. So it's come out mostly on that side. Oh, we've lost a square. That's okay. As long as it doesn't break properly. I don't mind if it breaks in the rows. That looks pretty good. That was very satisfying, I'm not going to lie. Okay, two of the little pieces have broken off, so I'm going to try it of these. I think that it's very nice, but I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 just because of the fact that the Poppet itself was €5 and I spent about €1 on the chocolate and €1 on the Smarties, and that's €7 when you could easily just buy it as a chocolate bar. But that being said, say if you had a Poppet lying around at home, it would 100% work if you wanted to try it. And it will break a little bit, but it's still pretty cool that you can say that you made a homemade chocolate bar. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit broken and it's melting very quick. But overall, I'd say that this is a success and I'd give it an 8 out of 10. The next thing that I'm going to do is more of a hack than an actual recipe. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but I've definitely seen this on TikTok before. It's apparently an easier way to cut a watermelon into slices. So the TikTok that I'm going to be trying to do is on screen now. And the plan is to cut a thin slice of the top of the watermelon off so that it can stand up stably. And then you just cut it into slices and then you turn it around, and apparently if you cut it downwards, then you have the perfect watermelon slice. The first thing that I'm going to do is cut the thin slice off the top of the watermelon. And now I'm able just to stand the watermelon flat so it's not rolling around or anything. The next thing you need to do is to cut it into long wedges, and the trick is apparently not to go the whole way down. So go about 3/4 of the way down. And then you just do that to every side. And then the last cut is this last diagonal. Then you should have 8 pretty even wedges of the watermelon. Now you turn it on its side, you cut off the little remainder piece. I think I cut mine too far down, so it's kind of coming apart. Oh, it's not working. It isn't really working for me, and I'm not sure if it's a me thing or if my knife isn't sharp enough. But I think it's a bit more difficult to do it this way than to cut it normally. This is probably a me thing, but this did not work at all. This completely fell off because I cut it too far down. And then I'm just struggling to cut these chunks off like this. And to be honest, I kind of found this harder than cutting it the usual way. So I don't think that this is worth it, to be honest, but that definitely could have been me and my cutting skills. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 just because it might have been me. But then I still think it was like quite difficult, and the whole point is for kind of amateurs like myself to be able to do it. So to be honest, I just keep cutting your watermelon the same way. Okay guys, I am back. I finished cutting my watermelon just up the regular way. And we're moving on to another recipe. Now, I've seen people use cinnamon roll dough, cut it up and put it in a waffle maker. And I don't have a waffle maker, so I thought that I'd try it in this sandwich toaster and see if it just does the same thing. I'm sure that it won't look as nice as it would have if I put it in a waffle maker, but I just want to see if it works. Okay, well I've just opened it up and it seems to come with some sort of powder, so I'm presuming that you mix this with water for the icing, but I'll just have a read and see. It doesn't seem to say, but I'm presuming that's what it's for. I'm just going to open up the cinnamon roll dough. Okay, I'm back. I've gotten rid of the wrapping and I have my cinnamon roll dough here. With my knife, I'm just going to cut a thick enough slice of the dough and put it in the sandwich toaster. If you guys are doing this, I just want to say that the dough itself is quite fragile, so make sure you're careful so that it keeps its cinnamon roll shape. Okay, here goes nothing. I'm putting it in. I'm going to put it in just on one side. As you can see, it has the halves for the sandwich, and I'm going to try to keep it on one side and cook it on one of the halves. So I'm just going to put that down and let that cook. While this cinnamon roll toasty is cooking, I'm going to mix this with a bit of water. And hopefully it was made for the icing and not something else. Probably should have looked at the instructions first, but I'd say it'll be fine. Okay, I think the cinnamon roll is ready. Wow, that looks really nice actually. This is what it looks like. It's basically molded to the shape of the half sandwich, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, here's time for the actual reveal. Wow, this looks really, really nice. I think I might have invented something here, guys. This is a cinnamon roll toasty. Here is what it looks like. The dough's at the back and the cinnamon toasty is at the front. And I'm just gonna cut that up and see what it tastes like. It is still oozing in the middle. It's a little bit raw, but I think that looks pretty delicious. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of the icing that came with it. And it's time for the true test of seeing if it's actually nice. Okay, cheers guys. That's really good. I would recommend this 10 out of 10. You definitely need to make this. And the icing is essential. This is delicious. I think I prefer this to a regular cinnamon roll. If you try this, please let me know. Make this a thing, the cinnamon roll toasty. The last thing that we're going to try in this video is another very popular TikTok trend, and that is frozen honey. It's been in about 2 hours and I don't think I'm going to like this one. Don't get me wrong, I do love honey, but I don't see me liking it frozen. Let's see if it's as aesthetic as they say on TikTok. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, that looks very cool. Okay, so here goes nothing. I'm going to give it a go. I mean, it's okay. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. But if you don't like honey, I would not recommend this at all. It is nice, like the texture is very toffee-like and it's like kind of like caramel, but the flavor of honey is definitely still there. So if you don't like honey, this is definitely not for you. The downfall with this is you have to have a full bite of it and it's a lot of honey just to take in. Like I prefer honey if it's spread over porridge or spread over a smoothie, but this I feel like is just a lot of honey in one bite. Also, when I try this, I just noticed like my teeth. This looks so bad for your teeth. So if you want to try it, go ahead, it is good, but I'm not sure if I can defrost this now. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with the rest of it, but if you don't like honey, do not try this. I think that I'd give the frozen honey trend a 6 out of 10. Okay guys, sadly that is it for this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing me try all these TikTok trends, and if you have any more that you'd like me to try, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. If there's anything that I want you to try from this video, it is the cinnamon toasty. If you have a sandwich toaster at home, please try this, and if you do, let me know in the comments down below to see if you like it or if you think it's better than an actual cinnamon roll. I can't tell you if it's better than the waffle one because I've never actually had that, but I think it's pretty cool and you can put 4 in at a time. So please try that at home and let me know how you found it. But other than that, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe down below with the bell notification on so that you never miss another one of my videos. I would also love it if you could leave a big thumbs up so that I know you enjoyed this and that maybe you'd like to see a part 2. Also, as I say every video, if you have any video ideas for me, let me know in the comments down below and I'll make sure to do them. That being said, I will see you guys next week for a brand new video. Bye!